This is one of the biggest stars on the planet, a man who can hold 80,000 people in the palm of his hand with just a guitar. But this is not the man he always was. Before the stadiums and the Grammys, he was a shy, stuttering kid from a small town. A kid who has openly said he was awkward, unpopular, and utterly invisible to the girls he liked. So how does that kid become this man? It wasn't luck. It wasn't fame. It was a specific counterintuitive technique he used, consciously or not, to dismantle his fear piece by piece. This process is so powerful that it can take any man from silent fear to quiet confidence. And today, I'm breaking down that exact method. For years, many guys were given an outdated piece of advice. Just be confident, just go talk to her. But it's a lie, because instead of building your confidence, it questions it. Imagine a young Ed Sheeran trying to force that advice, shaming himself in the mirror. It doesn't just fail, it makes things worse. For him, that pressure likely amplified his stutter, reinforcing the belief that something was wrong with him. That's because your brain learns to connect trying with punishment. But what changed everything for him, and what will for you, is a psychological principle called systematic desensitization. It's the science of dissolving fear by starting smaller than you can possibly imagine. Sheeran's first step wasn't walking up to a girl, it was hiding behind his guitar. He found an instrument that could speak for him when he couldn't. That was his ground zero. His first tiny, safe step. And it works because it builds strength gradually, not by pretending you're fearless, but by safely increasing your discomfort, thus training your brain. Once you have your safe step, the next phase is about low-stakes repetition. Building reps in the gym of confidence. For you, this might be making eye contact, but it can be anything that shows you can take initiative without getting stuck. For Sheeran, it was playing a song at a near-empty open mic night, or doing free street performances for people who weren't even listening. His brain was likely screaming worst-case scenarios. They'll laugh at you! They think you're weird! Psychologists call this social fear distortion, where your brain invents worst-case scenarios that almost never happen. But in reality, most people just walk by. A few might have politely clapped. But what was certain is that with every song, his nervous system learned a crucial lesson. Expression doesn't equal catastrophe. He was slowly proving his fear wrong, one chord at a time. And this applies to real life. Because most women are great. They don't need perfection. They don't want some cringy pickup line. They just need someone to be present, and most guys never give them that. So lean into that, because once you started being yourself, people around you become relaxed. And over time, something will shift. You'll stop approaching out of pressure and start approaching out of curiosity. That's when it will get easier, because it's real. No play acting, no deception. Just one human crossing paths with another. This is the part most men wait the longest to do, saying something authentic without needing anything in return. It's as simple as being present and giving a genuine compliment. And what is an Ed Sheeran song? It's the perfect compliment. Think about it. A song is a piece of raw, honest appreciation, released into the world with zero expectation of an immediate response. When he wrote a song about a girl, he wasn't there waiting for her to give him her number. He was there to get the song out. That act of releasing the outcome is what builds unshakable confidence. You're showing your own nervous system that your self-worth isn't tied to their reaction. You're speaking your truth because it deserves to be spoken. That's the frequency people feel, and it's what separates you from 99% of other men. So when you're able to compliment someone without needing mutual approval, you'll teach yourself to speak without feeling shame, thus overcoming the main fear many men and introverts carry. A lot of men believe that getting a number is the ultimate accomplishment, and reasonably so. It feels like some massive emotional gamble where you either do it wrong and get exposed, or say nothing and stay in the same position. It's a rite of passage for every man. We all avoid putting ourselves out there due to the fear of rejection. But so what if you get rejected? Life won't stop because of a single no. And the reason you fear rejection so much is because of the significance you put on it. You're allowing a single moment to define you. Look at Ed Sheeran. After years of these reps of playing songs, of giving these compliments, the fear of a real-time interaction starts to fade. The man who can write a hit song about his feelings can now have a 2-minute conversation about coffee. The final boss of asking for a number becomes less terrifying because you've removed the stakes. It's no longer a moment that defines your worth. Her yes doesn't validate you and her no doesn't crush you. It's just an invitation. This is the process that allowed the shy kid from Suffolk to not only become a global star, but to eventually marry his childhood crush. That doesn't happen from a place of neediness. It happens from a place of quiet, earned confidence. Remember, you don't act once you have confidence. You act, and confidence is what follows. Here's the truth nobody tells you: fear never goes away. It still shows up, in new moments, in different cities, and at random times. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's loud, but here's what changes. You no longer listen. Do you think Ed Sheeran doesn't feel a flicker of fear before walking on stage or releasing a new album? Of course he does. The difference is, after thousands of reps, the fear is no longer the loudest voice in the room. His experience, his self-respect, and the proof of his own journey are now louder. Fear is just noise. The ultimate freedom is when you can walk away from an opportunity not out of fear but out of choice, because you recognize your value isn't dependent on others' opinion but on your self-control. And this is the secret Ed Sheeran and many free people attained with the years of experience. So once you no longer feel the need to prove anything, to her, to yourself, or to anyone know you're on the right track, and you won't always be brave, but you'll be honest. And in today's world, honesty is magnetic. Ed Sheeran's story proves this process works. It's not magic, it's mechanics. So if this spoke to you, it's your turn now. You've seen the success, and now you have the blueprint. So now the only thing left is to take your first small step. And if you're ready to master the next part of this journey, turning that first conversation into a real connection, watch this video next, because presence isn't about loudness, it's about authenticity.